impressive. Why? Well, probably the highlight of this episode was the unlikely alliance between. Let me rephrase that. The unlikely alliance forged between Dobu and Odokawa. Who triggered this alliance? Tanaka. Nasabi ko sa inyo, he was the one who entered that cabaret club and started shooting. Bakit? Because in a very crucial scene, Dobu was able to identify his own gun. Yung namaril, namukha niya yung sarili niyang baril. Ginagamit ng gunman na to. So, if you deduce that properly, well, who took Dobu's gun in the park in episode 4? Di ba si Tanaka? So, yung namaril doon, it's none other than Tanaka. Kahit nakamaskara pa siya. Right? Nandamay pa eh. Nandamay pa ng tao. All because he hates Odokawa for something Odokawa did not actually do. Wow. Okay. Wow. Lahat ng conspiracies, lahat ng connections you would... Wow. It's again an episode full of intertwining connections. Final scene. You remember the comic duo? Yung Baboy Ramo, doon pa na lang tatrabaho sa cabaret club. He called his comic partner, who's the horse, the tall horse, who also happens to have a member of Mystery Kiss as his girlfriend. Tinawagan niya yon. Sabi ng kabayo, he's rather busy. So, hindi sila makakapag-rehearse for this comedy competition they're still in. And I think that final round will be next week. So, tinanong talaga na mabuti nitong warthog na to kung anong araw talaga available tong partner niya. Hindi siya masagot. So, he walks home feeling left out. And all of a sudden, he sees this, he sees a standee of his partner endorsing something. I don't want to call it professional jealousy yet, pero mukhang doon nga mauuwi ito eh. Right? Mukhang doon nga mauuwi ito. Overall, it's a really good episode. Alright? Odd Taxi has this, ito napansin ko has this penchant of connecting the dots on one episode, then connecting newer dots in the next episode. This is no exception. This is no exception. All right? Probably 75% of all the characters except Odokawa know Odokawa, but don't know each other. Right? Pero, unti-unti ng, what you call this? Unti-unti na silang kinoconnect ng anime na to. Right? Unti-unti na silang kinoconnect ng anime na to. Which brings us now to the pace. Okay? The pace was properly done so as to make the viewer understand how these connections work. How these people, how these characters are connected with one another, aside from two or three of them all being connected to Odokawa. Well, you gotta slow the pace down a little bit so that even rookie anime fans would understand what is going on. Well, if you put the pace too fast, wala maiintindihan. So this episode was properly paced for this particular episode. Okay? Maayos yung pace. Flow. First gear shift. Tanaka pulls up Dobo's gun. It's not his to begin with. It's not his to begin with, okay? He stole that from Dobo. Kasi di ba nga tinago ni Dobo sa park yun? Siya nakakita. Kinuha niya. Okay? So, he pulls out Dobo's gun and starts shooting at that cabaret club, in that club. That's the first gear shift. Second and final gear shift came when, of course, when Dobo and Odokawa sealed their deal with a handshake. Right? It's what you can also call a gentleman's deal. Kasi, that's how business deals are done in the old days. Alright? Handshake lang. Walang kontrata. Usapang lalaki. Right? Then you seal that with a firm handshake. Right? That's for me. Wow. Okay. There's honor amongst common folk and criminals. So, they seal the deal old school with a handshake. Okay? So, maganda yung flow. Maganda yung mga, these are two heavy but crucial gear shifts, I should say. Kahit dalawa lang yan, mabigat pareho ang mga gear shift na yan. Plot-wise, alam mo, parang the animators probably have this big map on one big table. Kumbaga, they're going to with a lot of push pins and string on it. Kung paano nila kukonekta si Shirakawa kay Dobo, paano i-connect si Odokawa dito kay Tanaka, para i-connect naman itong si Kaki kay this is a member ng Mystery Case, ganon. I think they have that kind of board in their office. Kasi you really need to plan this kind of an episode. You really need to plan the plot out really carefully. Alright? There are no sleeper moments in this episode. There are no sleeper moments. Kasi, if a plot is well laid out, well mapped out, hindi makakatulog ang audience. Hindi makakatulog ang viewer. Right? It will keep the viewer awake and on his toes. This is what this episode the episode did exactly. And all it takes is a well laid out plot. Okay. Well laid out, not exactly malinis, kasi we have all these connections, so it's gonna be one big mess if you're not careful. But it's well laid out. It is well plotted. Baga. No pun intended, okay? No pun intended. So, yeah, it's a really good episode. Right? Ito ang nagpapa-deep dive. Ito ang nagko-contribute kasi sa deep dive factor ng anime na to. The connections. Right? If you do not watch an episode thoroughly, you will never understand this anime. Masabi ko sa inyo. But for me, it wasn't a mistake taking this on. Because may deep dive factor eh. Right? Despite having its own sleeper moments. Alright? Episode 4. Episode 4. Okay? Nobody cares about Tanaka's story. Right? It's pathetic. So, Odd Taxi Episode 6. 2 thumbs up. Okay? 2 thumbs up. Bakit? Well, basically, this anime has now has a winning formula of yun nga, connecting the dots in one episode and connecting another set of dots, an entirely new set of dots in another episode. Pero pag hindi mo napanood yung dalawang episode na yun, you won't get the that part of the storyline. Right? You won't get that part of the storyline. Kaya Odd Taxi is an anime that is not for people who just watch animes for entertainment. Right? This is an anime for anime fans who love to think while they watch one. I'm one of those people. Right? So, well, despite having a so-so episode in episode 4, bawing-bawi na ang Odd Taxi rito. Okay? Episode 5, I gave them the 2 thumbs up. Episode 6, now 2 thumbs up again, back to back na. So bawing-bawi na ang anime na to sa akin. Right? What are we to recover from a so-so rating, ano? They over-delivered. They probably, yeah. In likelihood, they over-delivered on this episode. Okay? Galing. So again, Odd Taxi episode 6. Thumbs up. 2 thumbs up, mga ka-lifestyle. Next episode has been teasered. Gulo. Alright? This is one hitch of having an anime as complicated as Odd Taxi. When you teaser the next episode, you have absolutely no idea what's going on. But it's all in good because, well, this episode is now motivating me to watch that one. So, abangers na lang yun. Impressive. Right? Pero, at the end of the episode, it got me to thinking that pwede ba bang pagkatiwalaan pa si Maeda? I'll explain. Kasi he was waiting for Yamagami and Kurusu and General Nakajima. Well, General Nakajima basically just showed us how much of a corrupt son of a bitch he is. Okay? He sacrificed the lives of young soldiers just to fulfill his goal of a vampire unit. Alright? Wow. Okay? And to an extent, Maeda even defended him. So now, I'm asking the entire anime fandom, not just you, mga ka-lifestyle. Can we still trust Colonel Maeda in leading this group? I don't think so. Alright? That was a tense scene. Alright? That was a tense scene. Grabe. And Kurusu goes missing. Alright? And we also lose Yamagami here, who still was man enough to save Maeda. Alright? He died while saving Maeda. Kasi, well, let's move on to the final scene para maintindihan yung sinasabi ko. Historically, there was an earthquake that hit Japan in 1923. This was it. Kaya, bumigay yung headquarters nila. Right? Which left Maeda impaled through a large piece of rebar. And well, Yamagami tried to save him, just to clear the rubble on him and clear the rubble on and around Maeda. But in the process, he gets hit by the sun. Poof! He's self-combusted. Right. So, yeah. They are now down by one man. Wala na si Yamagami. Right? He's dead. Overall, it's a really good episode. It's a really good episode. Pace pa lang. Right? It was slow, but it was really tense. Okay? You really need that slowness to lessen the effect of the intensity of the scenes here. In other words, it was well paced. Kasi kung medyo binilisan mo pace ito, baka meron biglang sumakit ng dibdib dyan o ataking sa puso eh. Right? This episode was a really tense episode, so you really need to slow the pace down. Okay? To give the viewers a full understanding of what is going on with these scenes. Para totally na mag-gets ng mga viewers kung ano ang nangyayari. So, the pace, you really need it to be that slow. Flow naman. First gear shift I saw here was, Joran Nakajima spills the beans to Maeda, to Yamagami, and to Kurusu. Okay? Sinabi niya talagang plano niya. And Kurusu and Yamagami totally disagreed with it. And Maeda, being the loyal soldier that he is down with it. Okay? Second, there are only 2 gear shifts that I saw here. Final gear shift came when Nakajima just left like nothing, like he just left a casual conversation. That son of a bitch. Okay? I never thought Nakajima would be this much of a douchebag. Okay? Just to pursue his ideals. Right? They're too heavy. These are 2 really heavy gear shifts. Okay? Now, Kurusu is now, mukhang namula na si Kurusu eh. They are following a corrupt general, and Maeda is let's just say a willing accomplice to his twisted ideals. Right? So if Kurusu goes rogue here in the next few episodes, I won't be surprised because of what he found out in this episode. Hindi ako magtataka. Right? Hindi ako talaga magtataka. Now, plot-wise, malinis. It was I feel that this episode was totally mapped out in as much as to slow the pace down and to present to the viewers that it's possible that we have 2 broken arrows in this anime. Si Nakajima and 60% it's Colonel Maeda. Right? And we also found out here that Misaki was Joran Nakajima's daughter. Yung namatay na babaeng vampire sa pilot. Kaya pala ganon, ang ang mukha ni Maeda nun, nung namatay yung babaeng nun, Misaki was his fiancé. Kaya pala ganun ka-loyal itong si Maeda kay Nakajima. Now, I am not surprised. It's probably become clear to me now. Alright? Who's the real enemy here? Okay? And the plot made me realize that. Kasi ganun ka-planchado ang plot na to. Ganun ka-well mapped out ang plot nito. So, again, overall, it's a really good episode. Right? It's a really good episode. Talagang, General Nakajima has just showed us, well, I'm gonna repeat it, how much of a douchebag he is. And, ito namang si Colonel Maeda, masyadong loyal sa halimaw na to. And, did you see that scene where General Nakajima has this connection with one of Defraud's lackeys? Utang ina, kaya pala. He is, yeah, we could say it now. He is in cahoots with that, as Suwa dubbed him, a monster. That monster's name is Defraud. Yan, yung batang vampire. That vampire's name is Defraud. Okay? Ngayon ko lang naalala. He's probably, yeah. More likely, he is the main villain of this anime. And now, it's confirmed. Because, through this lackey of his, him and General Nakajima have a connection. Although, hindi pa talaga confirmed. Okay? This is just my deep dive into the episode. Okay? So, Mars Red episode 6. 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up. You know what? First, in Higehiro, we found a douchebag named Yaguchi. Pati man naman dito sa Mars Red, makakakilala tayo ng isa pang douchebag. Si General Nakajima. Right? For me, guys, we just found out who the real enemy is here. Defraud, that's a given. But the real enemy here, I think, is General Nakajima. And Colonel Maeda should not be trusted anymore. He should not be trusted anymore. If I were Suwa, Takeuchi, and Kurusu, kakalas na ako kay Maeda. You go run that envision vampire unit your beloved superior officer is envisioning. Kami, hihiwalay na kami sa'yo. We're gonna do this our way. If I were Kurusu, ganun dapat kong maging thinking nito. Alright? I would break rank from now on. Okay? I would break rank from now on. It's legit. It's a legit move kasi you have lost faith in your commanding officer. So dapat lang na kumalas kayo. Okay? Dapat lang na kumalas kayo. That's the right thing. That's the right move right there. Okay? That's the right move. Talagang Colonel Maeda disappointed me in this episode. Sinakayo na pa yung twisted na balak ni General Nakajima eh. Alright? That's what I'm seeing here. And General Nakajima is the scumbag who sold out to the actual enemy. But for me, the real enemy here is him. Kasi marami na siyang dinamay na buhay na dapat hindi pa masayang eh. Okay? That just goes to show you how tense this episode was. Okay? But Don't get me wrong, okay? It deserves the 2 thumbs up, but I don't feel like celebrating. I don't feel like celebrating. So again, Mars Red episode 6. 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up, mga ka-lifestyle. Sad to say. Well, title of the next episode has been teasered. Hanggang dun lang. But in all indications from this last episode, from this episode we just reviewed, I personally am going to wait for that, and I would love to see the repercussions of this episode. Okay, I would love to see the aftermath that might happen there, that resulted from this. Wow! Alright. Medyo pigil ang wow ko. Right? But the opening scene with Escanor literally punching the Demon King right here in the jaw, priceless. Priceless. But anyway, final scene. What in the fuck is Escanor doing? He is... Napansin ni Meliodas actually. He is actually channeling his life energy to his magic. Alright? He is one thing is for sure. He is hell-bent on killing the Demon King by himself. Okay? He is hell-bent on killing the Demon King by himself. Kasi siguro kanila pa nilalabanan ng mga kasama niya itong mokong na to. So it's about time he steps up. And wow, it may be at the cost of his own life. Okay? But did you see what he was starting to look like? Grabe. Mas mukhang demonyo na siya ngayon kaysa Demon King. Mas mukhang demonyo siya ngayon. Alright? Overall, yeah, it's a really good episode. Okay? It's a really good episode. Yung siguro ang irireklamo ko lang dito is the pace. Right? Kasi umpisa wow, okay? Talagang back and forth yung labanan nila ng Demon King. Talagang masasabi mo back and forth . They were trading punches. They were actually trading blows like it was I thought I was watching an episode of Cestus the Roman Fighter. Ganon to. Ganon yung feels dito. Alright? Trading blows. At one point I was even thinking that Rocky ba to? I saw the movie Rocky, okay? I saw nearly all the Rocky films. Wow, okay? Yeah, you could say that's better than Rocky. Pero when pagpasok ng backstory time for Escanor, talagang nagbagal siya. But you could not say it is the animators were too they were too deliberate. They were too deliberate on slowing the pace down. Kasi ngayon pa lang ikinuwento ni Escanor to on what he on how he joined how he was recruited for the 7 deadly sins. What is his current motivation now on why he's doing all this. Alright? Kaya well, it's understandably slow. Yun pa lang yung backstory yung backstory sequence. Alright? That was understandably slow kasi ngayon pa lang yata ikinuwento ni Escanor yung backstory niya. Well, whether we admit it or not, Escanor is one of the most mysterious characters in this anime. I think even in the manga. Kasi very little is known about him. And in this one episode we get to know him better. So understandably slow yung part na yon. Pero kung yung bumalik kagad sa fight scene nila, so, in that final scene, okay, the pace has picked up. So all in all, it's moderate. Yeah, they should have given more time to the fight scene than to the backstory. Siguro dapat ginawa nila rito, they went back instantly to the fight scene, then back to the backstory. Anong ganon? Kumbaga, yun lang talaga ang irireklamo ko sa episode na to. For nearly half the episode, it was a backstory. Sana ang ginawa nila, fight scene. Then, of course, backstory. Then, konting sumaglit muna uli sa fight scene. Then, backstory. Then, final scene. Ayun na. Sana ginanon. To make it, to make the pacing more forgivable. Okay? More forgivable. But, for me, the pacing was well, for others the pacing may be good, but for me they could have done it better. They could have done it better. Flow naman, well, sa backstory, the only gear shift I saw there was when Meliodas first challenged Escanor to a fight. That is to determine if he wants to join the 7 Deadly Sins or not. Tinalo siya ni Meliodas. So, kaya siya napasali sa 7 Deadly Sins. And he did realize that he was conceited. Right? Sobrang taas ng pride niya. Well, Meliodas made him realize that. Right? Meliodas, the glorious leader that he is, okay, the glorious captain of the 7 Deadly Sins, made him realize that. Then, I think the final gear shift here is, of course, when Escanor showed his other skill. Yung pagcha-channel ng life energy towards his magic na sunshine. Doon pa lang nakita ng kanya mga kasama that he can actually do this. Siguro, it was a last resort for him kasi this is the Demon King he is going toe-to-toe with. Abay, At saka, kailangan niya talagang bigyan ng pahinga yung mga ibang kasama niya. Because they have been fighting with the Demon King longer than him. Ngayon lang siya dumating eh. Ngayon pa lang siya dumating. So, he really needs to, as much as possible, end this. He really needs to end this. So, kumbaga, halatang last resort na niya eh. He was that determined to kill the Demon King by himself. Okay, so, magandang gear shift yun. And, I think the gear shift I mentioned, the first gear shift that I mentioned, it's totally necessary. Kasi, that was probably the motivation Escanor needed to start a new life with the 7 Deadly Sins. Right? Plot-wise, medyo hindi planchado. Right? Because of the animators putting too much time on the backstory sequence. This is Escanor versus the Demon King. Right? You should balance between their fight and Escanor's backstory. Okay? So, dapat yung plotting ng episode, it gave a little more time to, of course, it gave a little more time to the fight scene. Right? Ako personally, I really want to see Escanor versus the Demon King longer. Right? So, I'm not saying that this is not a well laid out episode. It was decently plotted. It was a decent plot. Okay? Now, yun nga eh, the pace, they could have done more so that the plot will really look good. Sana, kalagitnaan ng episode, bumalik sila sa fight scene. Then, balik sila sa backstory. Then, balik sa fight scene. Dapat ganon. Alright? Dapat siguro ganon yung ginawa nila. Para, mas, siguro, hindi naman nila ilalabas ang episode na to kung hindi malinis. Pero, mas lalong lilinis if they did it that way. Alright? Hindi ako inantok sa episode na to, okay? For me, there were no sleeper moments. But for someone who will watch the 7 Deadly Sins for the first time, baka antukin sila sa backstory. Alright? Baka antukin sila. So, yeah. The plot was decent. Okay? That's all I can say for now about the plot of this episode. So, overall, it's a good episode. It's a good episode. Basta, if they gave more airtime to the fight scene, mas gaganda ang pace, mas magiging malinis ang plot. Alright? So, the 7 Deadly Sins Dragon's Judgment episode 18. What the heck? 2 thumbs up. A provisional 2 thumbs up. Bakit? Well, as I said before, they could have done more with the pacing so that the plot wouldn't be decent. It would even be freaking good. Alright? So, yun lang talaga nireklamo yung pacing eh. If they did not spend so much time on the backstory and focus more on the fight, it would be a guaranteed 2 thumbs up from me. Kaya ako sinabing provisional 2 thumbs up. The parts that made me still give it the 2 thumbs up were, of course, the fight scene. Alright? Kasi we all want to see what Escanor can do solo against the Demon King. And wow! Wow! Kaya nga ako napawaw eh. Siya lang mag-isa, nilalabanan niya ang Demon King. Punch for punch. Okay? Punch for punch, nilalabanan niya ang Demon King dito. And wow, even the Demon King gave him praise. But he will even take that as an insult, knowing Escanor. Right? Knowing Escanor. So, yun na talaga ang reklamo ko dito. The pacing. Right? If they balanced it out between the fight scene and the backstory, merong breaks na katulad na sinabi, like what I've suggested a while ago. This could have been a great episode. Mas guaranteed ang 2 thumbs up ko. So again, the 7 Deadly Sins Dragon's Judgment episode 18. 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up pa rin mga ka-lifestyle. Ay. Tanda na the next episode has been teasered. 19, 20, 21, 22, okay. So, it'll be episode 19 next time. So, well, we're now nearing the final. After that, it's the final 5 episodes of this anime. Are you either excited or sad? Right now, hati ang feelings ko. But let's just hope that the next episode will be a more exciting one. Para 99.99% sure ang 2 thumbs up ko. Alright? As long as they stick to the fight scene kasi this is a crucial fight scene kasi if Escanor loses this one, parang na 7 deadly sins, parang natatalunan ngayon ng Demon King, di ba? So, tutok pa more, guys. Tutok pa more. Wow! You know, just goes to show you, okay? You live the life of violence, it will always come back to haunt you. Pero, whether it be good or bad. Sa case naman ni Sawa, okay, she doesn't call herself Yukimura anymore kasi hindi na kailangan eh. Okay? She now goes by her real name, Sawa Karasumori. Alright? Now, adjusted na eh. Adjusted na sila sa panibago nilang buhay ni Asahi. Right? Even the White Crow's gotten used to it. Si Nana, yung alaga niyang uwak, yun. The one that heightens her powers. Tapos, ito naman si Chukishiro, I guess he doesn't want, what you call this? He's the embodiment right now of the saying, old habits die hard. You get what I mean? Alright? Kailangan ba niyang patayin yung mga taong nakapaligid kay Sawa ngayon? Even Asahi? Right? Final scene. But, it's retribution time. He wants Yukimura, he now gets Yukimura. So, well, it's going to be another great battle in the next episode. Well, not exactly probably not as intense as the one Sawa had against Janome. Yun ang matindi talaga kasi boss battle yun. Alright? Boss battle yun. So, yep. Probably Chukishiro is going to get put out of his misery in the next episode. In all indications from the final scene. Overall, it's a fucking great episode. Another fucking great episode from this anime. Alright? So, pace-wise, what? Tama lang. Bakit? Kasi, first 2/3 of the episode, na-focus dun syempre, sa bago nilang buhay na magkapatid. Right? You can say naman ngayon na, anak-anakan na ni Sawa si Asahi. Right? Anak-anakan na niya. And, wow. I feel happy for Sawa here kasi mukhang may nagkaka-interest sa kanyang guy, lalaki. Right? Mukhang balak pa siyang akyatan ng ligaw eh. Alright? So, they've settled in pretty well with their new life. Okay? So, natural. You have to slow the pace down. Kasi, chill lang. Okay? And, Asahi is going to school. At itong suitor ni Sawa, teacher niya. Right? So, yeah. Gets yun na yun. Okay, that's why, excellent yung pacing. Okay? Medyo bumilis na, of course, nung nakialam na si Chukishiro. Okay? Flow. Okay. First gear shift is when they decided to settle in the cat temple. Alright? Yung pala in the future, sinetat na pala sila ni Chukishiro right there and then. Okay? This is like I told you in previous reviews, guys, Joran has that deep dive factor. Alright? So, second gear ship. Chokishiro was on this treasure hunt. Alright? Was on this treasure hunt and nabuo na niya. Alright? The last piece of the treasure, nakita niyo yung talagang mismong dokumento implementing the eradication of Sawa's clan. Okay, the Karasumori clan. Yung well, they are all considered supernatural beings. Lahat sila may ganong power. Pero the animals get to choose them. So, for Sawa's case, ang pumili sa kanya, itong puting uwak na to. Okay, itong uwak na to. So, final gear ship came when their quiet and quaint life is suddenly disrupted by Chokishiro. Alright, there goes the neighborhood. There goes the neighborhood. Now, I don't care kung ano yung gustong ipalabas ni Chokishiro dito. But through his method, I do not agree. Talagang I hope Sawa puts him out of his misery in the next episode. Okay? That's what the final gear ship made me think. Okay? Plot-wise, malinis. Okay? Malinis ang plot ng episode na to. Hindi ka minadali. No sleeper moments. When it comes to Joran, there are no sleeper moments. There is a tense moment, of course, nung Chokishiro suddenly butts in this romantic moment as he has set up for Sawa and her teacher. Okay? Binasag trip eh. Nambasag trip si Chokishiro dito. Okay? But before that, of course, the animators showed us the quiet and quaint life that Sawa and Asagi have already settled into. Okay? Talagang nag-fit in na sila. Then, yun nga, malinis ang plot. Malinis, planchado. No sleeper moments. Again, when it comes to Joran, can you have a sleeper moment with this? Can you even take a breather with this anime? Alright? Can you even take a breather with this anime? So, overall, yeah, again, it's a fucking great episode. Right? It's a fucking great episode. And we're now in the second half of this anime's run. Episode 7 eh. Okay? Tandaan nyo, Joran is just 12 episodes. So, we're done with the first half. We've now just entered into the second half of the run. So, things are going to pick up from now on. Right? Kung nabitin kayo sa laban nila Sawa tsaka ni Janome, you gotta expect this anime to deliver even better goods with the second half of its run. So, Joran, the Princess of Snow and Blood, episode 7. 2 thumbs up for the 7th straight time. Okay? Right now, Joran has put together this really mean streak when it comes to the 2 thumbs up. Kasi mula pilot hanggang ngayon, 7 episodes in, 2 thumbs up pa rin ang nakukuha sa akin. Right? It has that very special formula. It has that deep dive factor. Okay? I'm telling you, it now rivals Moriarty the Patriot when it comes to deep dive factor. Okay? Medyo lumalalim na ang deep dive factor din dito. Okay? It's now at par with Moriarty the Patriot when it comes to the deep dive factor. Kaya, if you're if you're regularly watching this anime, you will always look forward to another great one. Kasi, for example, episode 7, well, I am now more than motivated to keep tabs on when the next episode is going to come out. Ang ganda nito eh. Although, let's sabihin natin, okay, medyo nabagalan kayo sa first half of the episode. It's justifiable. Alright? We are being set up for probably another revenge run by Sawa. Pinatay si Asahi. Pinatay yung manliligaw niya. Well, basically, Tsukishiro ruined her new life. Right? And seeing how pissed off Sawa was, bigla niya tinawag si Nanang ganun eh. Halika, maglaban tayo. Si Tsukishiro literally challenged the Princess of Snow and Blood herself to a death match. Mukhang hindi pa niya gamay yung kung ano magagawa ng power na yun eh. Kumbaga, Tsukishiro's version, it's induced, okay? Kumbaga, he took it in just like a drug. He took it in just like a drug. For what? All you have to do is just talk it over with Sawa. Total magkasama naman kayo sa trabaho eh, dati. You didn't have to do this to her. Alright? So, what we're seeing here is another potential revenge run by Sawa. Mukhang, well, her revenge may be complete. Her revenge against Janome may be complete. But, she's about to start a new one kasi sa harapan niya mismo, pinatay yung manliligaw niya, pinatay din si Asahi. She is so pissed, okay? She was so pissed. Bigla na lang siya gumanon. Tsukishiro is about to, what? I feel sorry for Tsukishiro right now. He's about to be put out of his misery. No, not figuratively. Literally. Right? By someone who was actually born from that clan na puro supernatural, of these supernatural beings. Yun, talagang natural yung kapangyarihan niya. Yung kay Tsukishiro, induced lang yun. Kumbaga, ininom lang niya na parang droga. So, I can't wait for the next episode. I can't wait for what's going to happen to Tsukishiro. Okay? How Sawa is going to kick her ass for what is done to for how she ruined her life right now. So again, Joran the Princess of Snow and Blood episode 7. 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up for 7 straight times, mga ka-lifestyle. In typical Joran fashion, no teasers. Pero who needs teasers if you just watch an episode this fucking great? Abay, abangers na! Todo abangers na tayo for the next episode, alright? Wow! I only got 3 words for this episode. For now. Better than Rocky. Pila mo. Alright. Trading blows. Injured si Anden dito. Trading blows again. Cestus is busted wide open dito. Sa noo. Di nga lang kita. Pero it's obvious. Blood is gushing out of his forehead. Kaya tumutulo sa mata niya. So, his left vision is now obstructed. Kahit sinong boxing na tanungin mo, yun ang pinakaayaw doon ng injury. Kasi wala yung nababawasan yung visual references mo eh. Alright? Ask any fighter Right? That's the injury they would avoid at all costs. Dito ka tinamaan sa noo. If your forehead gets busted open here, tuloy-tuloy na ang dali ng dugo dyan. Right? Final scene. Cestus finally decides to use that to use that technique his teacher has his trainer has taught him. Finally decided to use it. So yun, nagsuguran sila ni Emden. That's where the episode ended. Bitin pa nga eh. Overall, it's a fucking good episode. Woo! It's a fucking good episode. Okay. Pace pa lang, of course. Alright? Pero, medyo mabagal ng konti kasi merong naging backstory involved, and the camera pans to the audience who are now slowly rooting for Cestus. Proof that everybody loves an underdog. Alright? So, reasonably paced ang episode na to. Now, maganda yung isa pang factor ng yung magiging maganda pace niya is nearly all throughout the episode nakafocus sa fight nila Cestus at Emden. Pero sumitrack ng konti to show Emden's backstory with his fellow slave na medyo umangat na, medyo naging edukado, who is now rooting for Cestus. Alright? So, and the incident where every other child slave of yung batch nila na talaga naglabo-labo just to become Sabina's own slave, which kaedad pala nila ito. Kaedad pala nila si Sabina. So, right? That's an interesting backstory. Pero, maikli lang. So, they instantly got back to the fight. Right? Properly paced ang episode na to. Now, sa flow naman, first gear shift, of course, Cestus gives Emden a shot here in the ribs, re-injures that rib. Okay? Cestus re-injures that rib. So, medyo, alam nyo, pag dito talaga kayo tamaan, mabalian man kayo ng buto o hindi, if you get hit in the chest area, doon talaga nagsimula yung saying na you got the wind knocked out of you. Totoo yun. Okay? Mahihirapan kayo talaga huminga pag dito kayo tinamaan sa chest area or dito sa tagiliran. If someone cheap shots you here, for a while, mahihirapan kayo huminga talaga. Injured man, broken ribs or no, talaga mahihirapan kayong huminga dyan pag dito kayo tinamaan. Right? Second gear shift is probably, that backstory. Kasi, hindi lang yung origins ni Emden ang na-expose doon. Even Sabina's change in personality. Alright? So, talagang, that's a crucial gear shift right there. Right? Final gear shift is when, during the final scene, Cestus decides to use that technique. Right? So, tatlong magagandang gear shifts ang nakita ko rito. That ran the flow of this episode. Right? Gear shifts make the flow of the episode run. Kaya ako tinatawag na gear shift yan. Kasi, yung cambio, dito puputangin yung flow ng episode. Okay? So, plot-wise, maganda magkaka-plot ang episode na to. Right? Malinis. Even though there was a backstory, pero maikli lang. it didn't waste too much time there. Kasi ang pinaka-importante talaga rito, yung laban nila Cestus at Emden. Alright? Kaya nga better than Rocky ang sinabi ko kanina sa umpisa eh. Right? This fight was better than that scene in Rocky. Yung fight scene nila Rocky Balboa at saka ni Apollo Creed. Right? Nasa kalibring yun. Nasa kalibring yun ang fight na to. Ang laban na to. Okay? So the plot was well laid out. Right? No, it's not elaborate. Hindi naman kasing elaborate ng Odd Taxi or even Moriarty to Patriot eh. Right? Malinis. No, walang kuskus balungos. Okay? Walang unnecessary na kuskus balungos dito. And most importantly, no sleeper moments. Okay? No sleeper moments. The entire episode kept me on my toes. Right? Talagang nakaganon ako kanina. Ooh! Okay, every time Cestus gets a hit in, ooh! Naku, mararamdaman ni Emden yan. Ayun nga, iniinda na niya yung dito niya. Yung left lower rib cage niya. Iniinda na niya yan. Halata na eh. Iniinda niya. So, again, this was a fucking good episode. Right? Talagang pang sports anime. Yung pace, yung flow, at yung plot ng episode na to. They all came together. So, Cestus the Roman Fighter episode 5. 2 thumbs up. Pwede, a vicious 2 thumbs up. Grabe. You know, this is now the 5th episode of the anime, but it's part 2 of the fight. Alright? Ewan ko ba bakit nila binitin dun eh. Pero, magaling bumitin eh. Magaling bumitin ang anime na to eh. Alright? Magaling bumitin. Bitin siya in the right and exciting way. Not the kind of bitin na talagang maiinis ka o magagalit ka. Right? Binitin tayo in the right and exciting way. So, this episode is now motivation for us to watch the next one. Kasi talagang gusto natin malaman kung sino mananalo dito eh. Right? Gusto natin malaman kung sino talaga mananalo dito. Okay? So this is a fucking good episode. Talagang deserve niya ang 2 thumbs up. Grabe. So again, Cestus the Roman Fighter episode 5. 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up mga ka-lifestyle. So next episode has been teasered. Ano ito? Why is Sabina stepping in? Yun lang ang sasabi ko. So, don't trust teasers. Just use this episode as motivation to watch that one. Ang ganda eh! Alright? This may be the climax of this fight. So, don't let that teaser waste your brain cells. Okay? Tandaan nyo, ang ganda ng episode na to. Sa ganda ng episode na to, kailangan natin panoorin ang episode na yun. We really want to see who wins this fight. Wow! Well, we're now in the second half of the run. Okay? Let me remind you, folks. Godzilla Singular Point is a 13-episode run. So, episode 7 is the halfway point. Episode 8 starts the second half of the run. So, what do we see here? Right? To summarize the 2 episodes, we saw a kaiju infestation. Whether it be land, sea, or air, may kaiju. Wonderful. Okay, wonderful. Now, let me give special mention to that what happened in episode 8. Okay? These kaijus naman, they look like insects, okay? Yun sees them as giant spiders, pero to me, they look like giant fleas. Alright? Mukhang mga higanting kuto eh. Alright? It's creepy. Right? They are creepy looking. I would rather look at a tarantula any day than this one. Okay? It is far from looking like a spider. It looks more like a flea. Okay? Now, final scenes. Of course, episode 8. Hindi, episode 7 muna. Inintroduce the new Jet Jaguar with his spear of Anguinus. Remember the horn na napulto nila kay... well, the kaiju's name is Anguinus. Yung nakalaban nila dun sa golf course. Okay. The science community has given it a name. Si Anguinus. Napatay nila yun, di ba? Kinuha nila yung horn at ginawa nilang sibat na main weapon ngayon ni Jet Jaguar. Episode 8, final scene. Well, Jet Jaguar and company have their work cut out for them. This infestation of kaiju fleas, mukhang dumadami pa eh. Every time they split one open, parang nagiging dalawa pa. Alright? Parang nagiging dalawa pa. Okay? The kaiju infestation is now underway. And it showed here in both episodes. Alright? Kaya ako napawaw eh. Overall, these are really good episodes. Okay? Number 1, 2 episodes ito. Pero ni minsan hindi ako inantok. No sleeper moments. Unlike in the previous unlike in the first 5 episodes. Unlike in the first 5 episodes of this anime, talagang for almost 1 hour straight, hindi ako nakatulog. Hindi ako inantok. Alright? There were no sleeper moments in both episodes. Pace-wise, we're being infested by kaijus. Okay? So, it is reasonably fast. Okay? Bumilis ang pace ngayon kasi, well, here we are. Okay? The world is being invaded by kaijus. Natural. The pace will pick up. Okay? Because the action has picked up. Okay? There are now more action scenes. Okay? So, when it comes to the flow, okay, let's say, I'll only cite 1 gear shift for each para medyo gets nyo gets nyo ang magiging rating ko mamaya. Biggest gear shift ng episode 7 is when May and Yun they were actually chatting. Okay, they're chatting through which is messenger app. So Yun gives his opinion on what May has found out with the archetype, right? So they both agreed that the red dust is phase 1 of the archetype. So both May is in disbelief, pero eventually nag-jibe yung conclusions nila. Okay? That's the biggest gear shift in episode 7. Sa episode 8 naman, it still concerns the kaiju flea infestation. Alright? The biggest gear shift there is when they found out that when you split one of them open, hindi mamamatay yun. Okay? It will just become 2 new ones. Okay? Mabuti pang ordinaryong kuto, tirisin nyo lang, patay ni. Nope. These work differently. Alright? You, tatagain mo, right down the middle. Pak! As in, as what Jet Jaguar did with one of them. Talagang hati, down the middle. Akala nila, patay na. Okay. They're going to explore the, hive. The camera pans back to the carnage. Nagbubuo na ng panibagong kalahati ang bawat isa. Alright? So, which now led to the final scene of episode 8. Mas marami sila ngayon. Okay? So, maganda yung mga naging gear shifts dito. Both episodes. Right? They were well timed. Okay? They were well timed. And plot-wise, the main connector of these two episodes is Jet Jaguar. Bakit? Kasi the modifications Yun and company gave this robot, this mecha, it's nothing short of astounding, right? Ganito katalino yung male lead ng anime na to, right? He's no ordinary engineer, right? I suspect he's also a child prodigy like me, si Yun, but he chose to be an engineer. Jet Jaguar looked awesome when she was kasi boses babae yung AI, so let's genderize it as a she, right? She was awesome when she was taking out those kaiju fleas. Wow, talagang pok. Mas maganda ngayon ang galaw ni Jet Jaguar mula nung mula nung binutingting ni Unito. Mas lalo siyang naging reliable, mas lalo siyang naging fighter ngayon. Kaya we can say through these modifications that Yun is a genius. He is also a child prodigy. Hindi ka na nakita sa itsura at sa forma niya. Nope. Talagang, he is a genius. He is a genius. That's how the plot works, okay? For both episodes, I should say now na malinis ang plot. Okay? Luminis siya actually as early as episode 6. Luminis siya as early as episode 6, pero it became more evident in these episodes. So yeah, these were really good episodes, okay? The action has picked up, okay, in typical Godzilla fashion. Yeah, if you're familiar with if you have seen at least one Godzilla movie, you know what I mean, guys. Okay? You know what I mean, mga ka-lifestyle. If you've seen any one of those Godzilla movies, you know what I'm talking about when I say the action has picked up. Okay? So, Godzilla Singular Point episodes 7 and 8. 2 thumbs up. Alright, 2 thumbs up. You know, if I can give an award for most improved anime for the entire year, this would be one of the candidates. Okay? This and probably no, not Higehiro kasi nakakaisang 2 thumbs up pa lang eh. For this one, well, kasi if you count the ratings I gave for episodes 5 and 6, these are 4 straight episodes na siyang 2 thumbs up. Right? This would be a leading candidate for most improved anime of 2021 for me. Kasi, if you're not totally familiar with how I review this anime, first 4 episodes, okay, hindi ko siya nabigyan ng 2 thumbs up. Dalawang beses ko pa siyang ginanon. Then, episodes 5 and 6, ayan na. I started giving it to 2 thumbs up. Then, now, 7 and 8. So, that means 4 straight, hindi pala kita rito. 4 straight episodes na siyang 2 thumbs up na sa akin. So, yeah. If there would be an award for most improved anime of 2021, I would submit this as an entry. Isasubmit ko to because ang laki nang in-improve eh. First 4 episodes is either 1 thumb up or this. Then the next 4 puro 2 thumbs up na. Right? I think Bones and Orange are now slowly getting the idea. This is, okay, although this is an entirely different story, this is an entirely different storyline, it still bears the name Godzilla. Alright? It still bears the name of the king of the monsters, for God's sakes. Abay, gandahan nyo naman. Gandahan nyo pa lalo. Alright? Gandahan nyo pa lalo. I don't care if you're Bones and Orange, okay? Well, we all know that Bones is behind My Hero Academia. They're the studio behind My Hero Academia. And Orange, of course, they're the guys behind Beastars. Okay? They are the ones involved in the digital animation part of this one. Yung mga kaiju, they're all digital, di ba? More likely, Studio Orange is behind that. Kasi, nakita man natin ng Beastars, it's all digital. Kaya maganda Beastars eh. Okay? So, I don't care if you're Bones and Orange. This is Godzilla. This is a show that bears his name. Ayusin nyo. Well, based on these last 4 episodes, they somewhat over-delivered. So, okay. So I hope well, 4 episodes, these last 4 episodes, they are consistent. They have been consistent with giving us really good episodes. Consistent na sila. All right. So again, Godzilla Singular Point episodes 7 and 8. 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up, mga ka-lifestyle. In typical Singular Point fashion, no teasers. Oh, by the way, I almost forgot. They're also theorizing that Archetype is also a through Archetype they can they also theorize that through Archetype singular points can be formed. Kumbaga, these are portals that where you can either cross dimensions or cross timelines with. Now that's scary. Alright? Now that's scary. So, you can therefore, well, let's deep dive. Okay? Total, may deep dive factor naman talagang anime na to eh. So let's deep dive into it now. You can say that these kaijus came from either from another dimension, another plane of reality, or from another timeline. Maybe we could say 60 years ago, during when the original Godzilla came out. This is anime, folks. Anything can happen. So, with that in mind, with that brief deep dive in mind, let's just wonder about it muna and wait for the next episode. Impressive. Bakit? Kasi, well, I am totally not familiar with this part of the original series. Parang wala akong matandaan na na natalo si Yo sa Shaman fight But here, he loses to Faust, okay? Natandaan ko na yung pangalan. Si Faust ito. Right? He is a necromancer. Let's go instantly to the final scene. Alright? Faust beats Yo. Technically, kumbaga ito yung pinaka-technical knockout sa Shaman fight Ganito nangyari dyan. Kung bakit natalo si Yo. Faust was still in oversoul mode nung tinalo siya ni Yo, pero si Yo wala na. He is not in oversoul mode nung tinalo niya yung oversoul ni Faust. So, according to the rules, Yo loses. Right? At saka, bumagsak na si Yo. But after beating Yo, he wants to kill him. Alright? So, makikialam na sila sila Ana, sila ba itong Silva, who was overseeing the match. Makikialam na rin siya And, but all of a sudden, boom! Ren interferes. He took down Faust just like that. Gumawa pa ka ng giant skeleton para lang patayin si Yo Hindi na makakalaman sa iyo Plastado na Alright? For what? So, then, sinabi ni Ren, I am your next opponent. Okay. Kaya pa na niya ginawa yun. Alright? Overall, it's a really good episode. Okay? Pace pa lang. Tamang-tama. Because after all, this is a fight. Okay? We saw one of the probably one of the most lopsided battles in the Shaman fight, or at least in the reboot. Kasi Faust clearly had the advantage from the get-go. Ginamit niya ito. Alright? Used mind games on Yo. So, you cannot say it's you cannot say it's too fast Right? Nagbabakbakan ng dalawang shaman dito. Right? So the pace is naturally fast. It's naturally fast. Then medyo slow down nung Yo was trying to gather himself. At yun sinabi niya na I'm tired of playing with dolls, Faust. Ayun, dun. Kasi medyo nagets na niya kung paano tatalunin si Faust. He insulted Faust's guardian spirit, who also happens to be the spirit of his wife, si Elisa. Yun ang pangalan ng guardian spirit ni Faust, si Elisa. Yun yung namatay niyang asawa yun. Namatay niyang asawa. So, of course, magagalit. Asawa pala So, then, Faust basically snaps. Pak. So, guardia na ng guardia si Yo. Until such time na medyo nakita niya na medyo bumaba na yung what you call this? Yung level ng oversoul niya. Yun. Medyo doon niya dinali yung guardian spirit mismo. Okay? So, yun na yun. Yun na yun. So, when it came to the flow, I think I've already mentioned the major gear shifts here. Yung pagkakagalit, yung pagkakalaro, yung pagkakagamit ng mind games ni Faust by first taking Manta and performing open abdominal surgery on him on the spot, right? Pero it wasn't a gory scene. Talaga parang pinakita lang talaga na binuksan yung tiyan ni Manta. Okay? Siyempre, nagalit si Yo. Second gear shift, of course, is when Yo basically pissed Faust off. Okay, kumbaga, naging tit for tat na Naging tit for tat na Final gear shift, of course, Ren's interference. Okay? These are 3 heavy gear shifts in this episode. So, yung flow, hindi, what you call this? Maganda yung flow ng episode. Okay? Maganda yung flow. Plot-wise, no sleeper moments. Okay? no sleeper moments dito. Kasi, if you really want to show these aspects of the Shaman King manga, you really have to plot out this episode. Kumbaga, you have to map it out eh. You have to lay it all down on the table, organize it. O, ito muna. O, hanggang sa makarating tayo dito. Parang ganun yan eh. So, the plot of this episode was well laid out. Okay? Planchado. Okay? Planchado ang plot nito. Kaya, no sleeper moments. Okay? Kasi, doon ko lang nadidetermine kung hindi maganda yung mukhang hindi kung medyo minadali or the plot was sloppily done. Pag nakakatulog ako sa isang scene. Pag nagkakaroon tayo ng sleeper moment sa episode, yon. That's a telltale sign for me. Okay? That's a telltale sign for me na hindi maganda yung pagkaka-plot ng episode na to. Okay? But for this episode, wala ni isang segundo hindi ako nakatulog sa episode na to. It was both creepy and action-packed. Alright? Sabi ko sa inyo sa last time that this guy is scary. Si Faust. I think I've proven to you why. Okay? We've all seen why. So overall, it's a really great episode. Okay? Another great episode from the Shaman King reboot. So, buhok pa ako. Shaman King 2021 episode 7. 2 thumbs up! Right, 2 thumbs up! Alam nyo, talagang hindi ko matandaan kung ganito yung naging laban nila Faust at Yo sa original series. Because I couldn't really remember if Yo actually lost a battle in the Shaman fight. Alright? I could not remember. Much less to Faust. Okay? Siguro ganito nga yung nangyari sa manga. Na talagang PNKO. Okay? PNKO ni Faust si Yo. Alright? Kasi yun ang ano eh. Kumbaga, Yo did it to Horo-Horo. Kumbaga, technical knockout na yun sa Shaman fight eh. Kapag isang Shaman eh hindi naka-oversoul mode nung tinalo niya yung kabilang Shaman, technically he lost. Alright? Or kusang humiwalay na yung guardian spirit sa Shaman. Kumaga, yung as in the case of the Horo-Horo fight, humiwalay na kasi ang guardian spirit ni Horo-Horo nun. Yun na mismo sumuko. So, pero Yo showed good sportsmanship there. Hindi niya tinuluyan si doon. Hindi niya tinuluyan si Horo-Horo. Para pa. Panalo na siya. Right? You already won the match. Ba't ba? Pero dito, Faust wanted to kill Yo after he beats him. So, dapat lang, okay, anybody can interfere na kasi tapos na ang laban. So, ayan na, si Ana, si Silva, yung nag-oversee sa match, and of course, yung biglang entrada ni Ren. Alright? He just ended it all for Faust. So, I think that was the only sportsman-like thing that he's done in this anime so far. In this reboot, okay? That's the only professional thing he's done. Okay? So again, Shaman King 2021 episode 7. 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up, mga ka-lifestyle. Title of the next episode has been teasered. Hanggang dun lang. But in all indications from the final scene, looks like we're in for another fierce battle. Pero ano ang kondisyon ngayon ni Yo? And Manta needs to be hospitalized kasi binuksan yung tiyan niya. Alright? Binuksan ni Faust yung tiyan niya. Ugh. He calls himself a doctor. Okay? He calls himself a doctor. So, ano na ang physical and mental state ngayon ni Yo after all that's happened. Is he still capable of beating Ren again? Si Ren mukhang pinagandaan niya talaga yung rematch nila ni Yo. Right? He really wants to beat Yo this time. So, todo-tutok na lang tayo mga Shaman King fans, okay? Todo-tutok na lang tayo. This one has died, but not my review. It's not gonna stop us. But anyway, it's quite impressive. It's quite an impressive episode. We just got a sample of how Shin basically puts his comrades out of their misery. Kasi nalaman nila na, if you can remember from the last episode na ibinunyag ni Shin that dead enemy soldiers, they get their brains taken out, ginagamit ng Legion yun. Right? That's scary. Okay? That's a crime against humanity. Now, in order for them not to be able to use the fallen soldier's brain, right? If his comrade is beyond saving, talagang mamamatay na, Shin shoots them in the head. Right? So, yeah. He really does that para hindi na magamit ng kalaban yung utak ng namatay niyang kasama. He did it with right now in this episode. He was able to do that to two of his fallen comrades in just this one battle. Right? Sabi pa nga niya kay Lena, if you can't take it, just turn off your para read. All right? Because he is basically euthanizing his own men para hindi magamit ng kalaban yung mga utak nila. Right? This is the ugly side of this war. This episode just showed us how ugly it is. Final scene. Katatapos na ng mission briefing, and Lena just shared a light moment she had with Shin's brother. Natuwa naman si Shin. Yun lang. Overall, it's a good episode. Okay, it's a good episode. And wow. Pace-wise, it is probably the pace I can complain about. It's unusually slow. It had a battle scene, but ewan ko, parang medyo nabagalan ako eh. Kahit sa battle scene. When it panned to the mission briefing and of course the discussions, okay, the frustrations Lena had in this episode, na hindi na naman sineryoso yung suggestion niya, right? That the 86 are still being treated like tools of war, right? That's understandable, but what made this episode unusually slow was the battle scene. That's my observation. Flow-wise, okay, sa flow naman, the only gear shift I saw here was Shin's dream sequence, although it took only a few seconds. Kaya pala parang pursigido siyang hanapin I think ano yata yung pagkakamatay ng kuya niya, up to now, his older brother's head is still missing. And he is desperately looking for it. Kumbaga, that would mean, for him, that would mean as an act of redemption. Alright? Although it was only for a few seconds, that creeped me out a bit. That creeped me out a bit. Okay? For the plot naman, yeah, it was well laid out. In typical 86 fashion. Kasi pinapakita mo na ang side ng yung front ni Shin at yung front ni Lena. Now, depends on how they want to go about this episode. Pero dito, siguro tama yung judgment ng A1 Pictures because this is mostly about Shin. So, kumbaga, mas importante dito yung side ngayon ni Shin because he's been having these weird nightmares about his brother. Then, talagang he's holding himself accountable for his death. Alright? And how he probably got the name Undertaker. Dati Reaper ang tawag sa kanya eh. That was just 4 months ago. Now he's called Undertaker. At yung logo ng drone niya, kalansay na walang ulo. I think that's probably the reason why he has that symbol. Right? So, tama lang. Okay? Justifiable yung plot ng episode na to. Justifiable siya. Because they really need to concentrate on the episode needed to focus on Shin this time. Alright? So, I just saw a good episode right now. Okay? More importantly, there were no sleeper moments. But why did I just watch a slow battle scene? If I look at it now, pero hindi pa rin justified eh. Alright? Hindi pa rin justified yung nila na-justify yung yung pagkaka-euthanize ni Shin dun sa dalawa niyang kasama. Right? So, that's my only complaint in this episode. Okay? So, 86 episode 6. Thumb up lang. Right? I'm gonna tell you why again. The pace of the battle scene was unusually slow. Even for the fact that you need to have the viewer see how Shin actually euthanizes his fallen comrades para he's not gonna let their brains be taken by the enemy. Okay. So, despite that, this episode had no sleeper moments. Right? This episode had no sleeper moments. Even though there was a rather long conversation between the unit and their handler, si Lena. This episode just basically showed us how ugly this war has become. Right? To the point that the commanding officer needs to euthanize his subordinates para hindi magamit ng kalaban. And just goes to show you how vile the enemy is. Right? Yung tipong kukunin pa nila yung utak ng na-disable nilang kalaban para magamit naman nila. Okay? So, that's how ugly this war has become. So, and this anime showed us again how ugly it is. Okay? But they should have picked up the pace on that battle scene. All right? It was good, but medyo nabagalan ako eh. Okay, medyo nabagalan ako sa battle scene na yun. So again, 86 episode 6. Thumb up lang. As much as it pains me, all I can give is this. So, title of the next episode has been teasered. Well, yun lang. Right? Parang nauuso ngayon yung yung title lang ang tiniteaser. Title ng next episode lang ay tiniteaser. Alright? So many animes are doing that right now. Especially the ones the ones in the current review roster. So it's our duty now to wait for the next episode and watch it so that we can judge that one for ourselves. I'm impressed. Alright? Kasi, kaya pala nagsalit itong yung matandang doll, his name is Edward. Okay? Kaya pala nagsalita ng gano'n si Edward na eat your sweets. He's left some clues on how the dolls are going to follow their masters. But, instead of their masters, what you call this? Instead of their masters that they met up with Edward, right? Which gave them another task. Basically, in 2 hours, they should rescue their masters and come back to that meeting place with them. So, siguro kung sino mauna, yun naman nanalo. Final scene. Nagkaroon ng suspecha si Emilico. It's like she had that stinking feeling that someone is watching them all. Four shadows are actually watching them all. Right? So we gotta know who those 4 are. Okay? Mukha talaga mga noble ang mga to eh. Mukhang mga noble talaga. Talagang masasabi mo mga noble. Sa forma pa lang nila eh. Sa forma pa lang. Overall, it's a really good episode. Right? Let's talk about the pace. Okay? Let's talk about the pace. The pace was... the pace actually assured us of no sleeper moments. Why? Kasi hindi siya ganong kabagal, hindi rin siya dapat bilisan. Right? Because the time element just fell into place, and then the time element just came in when Edward declared the task. Doon lang pumasok yung time element. But all throughout the first half of the episode, the 5 dolls were actually figuring a way to go to their masters para masundan nila. They were actually trying to figure out, right? And
we now know that Ricky is a douchebag.
Right? His arrogance, okay? Side note, his arrogance is beyond comprehension. And to think he's just a doll. Okay? He's just a doll, but he has a noble's arrogance. Okay? Which makes him a douchebag. Which makes him a douchebag. Okay? Automatic yun. Right? Kung servidor ka lang, pero kung akala mo day mo pang amo mo kung umasta, amo mong mayaman, that automatically makes you a douchebag, even in real life. Alright? Now, flow naman. First gear shift is, of course, when Emilico finally figures it all out. Yung limang parang pieces of foreign objects, kasi nakita nila through eating those sweets eh. na-figure out ni Emily ko kasi pinagdikit-dikit niya eh. It forms a key. So it hit on her. Teka nga. Kinuha niya, nilagyan niya doon sa slot, nabuksan niya yung pinto. That's the first gear shift. Second gear shift came when, what you call this? Well, when Ram finally decides to be a team player. Kinulungan niya si Emily kung itulak yung kariton na yung pinili niyang tool for the task. Kinulungan niya si Emily ko na iakyat yung kariton to the top of the to the top of that hill. So that's when she decided to become a team player. Final gear shift is when Kate, okay, when Kate finally realizes that the use of soot will not disqualify them, will not disqualify any of them. So, kasi nalaman niya kay John na ginamit naman ni John yung kanyang ability na pasabugin yung suit para makalabas siya doon sa, I think it was encased in a box, parang ganun eh. Walang sumita. So, Kate instantly figured it all out. No shadow will be disqualified if they use any of their suit powers or skills. So, medyo, pero nakalata naman niya kay John that John has no control over his own suit skill or power. Pero siya meron na. Nakokontrol na ni Kate yung kanya. So she has the advantage now. Okay, that's the final gear shift there. Which may play a role in the next episode. This is my theory, guys. Alright, this is my theory. So, when it came to the plot naman, medyo elaborate. Pero, malinis pa rin ang pagkaka-layout ng episode na to. Right? The elaborate part came when each of the dolls have to make do with their chosen tool. Alright? With that in mind, kaya nasabi ko malinis ang pagkaka-plot ng episode na to. Alright? It's because of a douchebag named
Ricky.
You know what? Not all characters are useless. Alright? Even douchebags have their uses. So overall, it is a good episode. It's a good episode pa rin. Kasi dito talaga na-pick yung intelligence ng mga dolls. Alright? I think the real thinker here is is Sean, yung matangkad. Yung doll ni John. Yun na talagang medyo matalino rito eh. So, Shadow's House Episode 6. Full thumbs up. Bakit? You really got to cheer for these dolls, okay?
Except for Ricky.
Who wants to cheer for a douchebag like him, okay? But for the other dolls, they are individually they are asserting themselves in this debut. All right? They are truly showing their loyalty to their own masters. Okay? Which is why they are built that way. All right? So they are coming into their own. Okay? Literally and figuratively. They all came into their own in this episode. We actually saw the individual personalities of these 5 dolls. Pero naku-curious ako eh. Sino ang 4 na nobles na to na pinakita sa final scene? Right? What level of nobility do they have? How are they close to the Lord Grandfather? Okay? Yun talagang gusto kong malaman dito eh. And why are they so interested in this debut? Why are they so interested? Right? Why are they so interested in this debut naman? Okay? So, we'll just have to find out when we watch the next episode. But for now, this episode is really good, and you can say it's a character development episode. Okay? And now, well, side note, we now know how much of a people pleaser Edward is. Pero may sarili siyang, may vested interest din siya rito. Right? He really wants to take down Kate and Emilico. Now, why? We still have to find out. Alright? So again, Shadow's House Episode 6. 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up, mga ka-lifestyle. Paano the next episode has been teasered? Hanggang dun lang. Pero medyo na-curious ako sa title eh. Right? In all indications, we may get our answers to the questions we posed in this review. I got a good feeling about that. Alright? So, kaya, mga ka-lifestyle, tumutok na tayo. Wow! I'll tell you why. Kasi, Draken started to narrate
His own backstory. And then,
so they were able to bump in into the former leader of Mobius, si Osanai. 2017 Osanai. He looked even sorrier than Takemichi. He looked even more pathetic than Takemichi. So, in-interview nila. And what? They got nothing out of him. And nakalata ni Naoto na mukhang takot eh. Right? Mukhang may kinatatakutan to eh. Kaya siguro ayaw magsalita. So, Takemichi goes back to 2006. Then he just openly asked Mikey if they can what you call this, postpone this one against Mobius. But Mikey, being the stubborn leader that he is, nope, sorry. Well, he didn't actually say sorry. All right, he's that arrogant. Okay, he's that arrogant. Final scene. We come to the final scene. The 2006 Osanai shows up. Okay, natin. Well, middle level commander pa lang siya nun. So he was just a middle level commander sa Mobius nun. But he suddenly butts in with an entourage of with just a sample of his gang. Kasi nabalitaan niya na susugunin sila ng Toman. So he thought, well, in quote unquote, he said, I thought I'd bring the fight to you today. Puta! Mukhang mapapaaga pagkamatay ni Draken ngayon ah. And Takemichi doesn't know what to do. Okay? He has no idea what to do next. Andun din siya eh. Wow! That was some ending. That was some final scene. It was tense. Nung ano pa lang eh, sa pag-appeal pa lang ni Takemichi kay Mikey eh. doon pa lang, it already became a tense scene. Overall, it's a fucking good episode. Putang inang. Hindi pa nagpapatayan ng ang Toman at Mobius. Putaragis. You could, the air is so thin. Alright? Parang, obviously, outnumbered sila Mikey Takemichi rito. Ilan lang sila sa enclosure na yon. Si Draken, Mikey, si Tachimichi, tapos yung dalawa, 5 lang sila. Nagdala ng isang batalyon si Osa lang eh. Wala, papatay sila dun. So, when it came to the pace, medyo, it was a bit slow during the first half of the episode. Then, second half, ayun na, the pace began picking up. Medyo bumilis na. So, the pace was well balanced. Okay? Kasi, first half of the episode, medyo backstory time tayo eh. Si Draken mismo ang nagkikwento. On how he met Mikey, on how he became Draken. Okay, how he became Draken and where he came from. So, first half of the episode, then of course, konti lang yun eh. Siguro mga 5 minutes lang yung backstory na yun. 3, 4, 5 minutes. Then came to the story proper. Siyempre, meeting si Naototsi Takemichi. Okay. Ano gagawin? Okay. Gano'n na. Right? So, the pace became, well, I couldn't tell you guys if it's reasonably slow or reasonably fast. It was well balanced. Okay. Balance ang pacing. Because, well, a fight's about to ensue, so you gotta build that momentum up in any way possible. So they built the momentum up this way. All right. So well balanced ang pacing dito. Okay, when it came to the flow, maybe on the first, the only gear shift I saw here was when Mikey directly appealed to Takemichi directly appealed to Mikey that maybe they should forego this what's going down against Mobius. Right? Kasi many instances happened during that time kasi medyo sinigunda na siya ni Draken. Pero I think Mikey took exception to that. Sabi naman ni Draken, it's not what I meant. So, and you know how hard-headed and how arrogant Mikey can be. All right? But right there and then, ayun, at that very moment, pumasok na si Osanai with his with several members of Mobius. Alright? That's the only gear shift I saw here. The rest kasi I couldn't see the briefing as a gear shift, and I don't even see Draken's backstory, how Draken's backstory started as a gear shift. Kasi well, the animators can tell that story anytime during the anime. Actually, okay, they can actually tell his side of the story anytime during this anime's run. Okay, there's no sense of urgency to tell Draken's backstory, right? Then yung briefing, I couldn't see that as a backstory kasi parati naman ginagawa nila Takemichi Naoto to eh. In almost every episode ginawa nila ito. Right? So I couldn't consider that as a gear shift. Talagang nakita ko lang talaga dito na pwedeng gear shift, na pwedeng kumambyo ang buong storyline ng anime is that scene where what you call this, Takemichi made a direct appeal to Mikey to actually stop this impending fight against Mobius. Pero Mikey's made up his mind already. Right? Kahit si Draken mo kung wala na magagawa eh. Kung wala na magagawa na rin si Draken. Alright? So that's a gear shift. That is a gear shift. Now, ang plot naman, planchado. Right? Planchado plot nito. Kasi they did not waste time with Draken's backstory. I told you it was only a few minutes long, right? It even took up it was also the opening scene of the episode. Okay, so all in all, tanggalin mo yung tanggalin mo yung OP. It'll only account to just 3 or 4 minutes or probably 5 minutes lang. Okay? Hindi factor yun. Non-factor. Okay? So, pero it's the anime, it's the studio's discretion if they want to relate to us Draken's backstory this early. Siguro baka meron pa silang crucial na ilalagay in future episodes, baka mawalan na ng place ito. Right? So, yeah, I'm just seeing the possibilities, okay? And I'm just relating it to you guys, mga ka-lifestyle. Alright? So, planchado ang plot nito. Right? Of course, yung briefing, then of course, Takemichi goes back to 2006 at nag-usap sila uli ni Akun and basically he's just motivating Akun to pursue his dream of becoming a hairstylist. Kasi eventually, alam na niya kung ano mangyayari kay Akon eh. Alright? Alam na niya kung ano mangyayari. Akon's gonna die and Akon's going to kill himself in front of him. So, he might as well change this part of history para hindi na siya mawalan uli ng kaibigan. Alright? And he said there, kasi pinapalis na siya ni Pai. Right? Binubugbog na nga siya. I'm not backing down. I became friends with you too. I am not going to back down on this. Sinabi ni yun. That's the time na nirestrain na ni Draken si Pa. So yun nga, sinuggest niya kay Mikey na maybe we should look into this. Ikasiguro ni Draken, we're up against an established gun. Baka malagasan tayo after that. Win or lose, malalagasan tayo ng tao. And looks like Mikey has already made up his mind. Not even Draken can sway him into reversing his own decision. Nope. Pero in comes Osanai, brought the fight to them this early. Looks like Mikey doesn't have to Mikey won't have to wait another day to get his hands on Mobius. Mobius has just because Mobius now wants to get their hands on him. Right? So it takes a well ironed out plot to convey this kind of a message to the viewer. How hard-headed and how arrogant Mikey can get. He is the leader of the Tokyo Manji Gang at that time. Siya ang leader eh. Alright? And well, in typical Tokyo Revengers fashion, no sleeper moments. Alright? Right now, you can't take a breather with this anime. Alright? Only during the commercial break. Okay? Only during the commercial break and the opening and closing credits. Yun lang. Yun lang ang break mo dun. Excuse me. So, again, it's a fucking good episode. Right? Tokyo Revengers has that penchant now of delivering the goods from the views of the main of the lead characters in such a nice way that you won't get pissed off as well if you're an amateur at animes, you might get pissed off at how on how much of a viewing roller coaster ride this is. But no, there is a reason kung bakit ganon. Again, this is a fucking good episode. So, Tokyo Revengers episode 6. 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up. You know what? Tokyo Revengers has like I said in another review, it's a whole new take on isekai. Okay? So, kung hindi ka sanay sa isekai, do not watch Tokyo Revengers. But if you are a real fan of isekai animes, this anime is for you because it's a completely different take on the subgenre. Kasi through the subconscious, tumatravel back to 2006 si Takemichi. Right? Through his own subconscious. With just a handshake with Naoto, he goes back to 2006. So, talagang kakaiba. Kakaiba ang pagka-isekai nito. So, again, if you're a real fan of the isekai genre, you better watch this anime. You better start watching this anime now, okay? Baka ma-miss out mo totally to. So, again, Leiden Films, okay? The animators of this, the same studio that brought us Cells at Work Code Black. Okay? They brought us this one naman. So, Leiden Films, as with Cells at Work Code Black, saludo ko ulit sa inyo because of this one. So again, Tokyo Revengers episode 6. 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up, mga ka-lifestyle. In typical Revengers fashion, no teasers. A great anime like Tokyo Revengers is into the habit of not teasering the next episode. And I'm slowly I'm slowly understanding why. Right? Because if you teaser the next episode, baka yung momentum, yung ganitong klase momentum na build up mo in this episode mawala. Alright? Each episode so far has been momentum builders for the next one. Right? Parang ano yan eh. Parang, let's call this. Parang ano siya eh. Parang tsunami. Right? There's a first wave, there's a second wave. Now, the first wave lubricates the ground para mas lalong bumilis ang may second wave para bumilis yung takbo niya. Ganon din ang ginagawa ng second wave. So, dalawang wave na yon, mas mas lalong dudulas ngayon ang lupa. When a third wave comes, mas mabilis na ang takbo nun. Okay? The more waves a tsunami pushes inland, when the final wave strikes, baka lumagpas na yun. Baka lumagpas na yun sa, kunyari, an island. Lalagpasan na niya yung island na yun. Okay? Kasi mas mabilis na siya ngayon eh. Ganon dito. Right? The way it builds momentum for the next episode, it's like how a tsunami does it. So, hintayin na lang natin at panoorin. I'm impressed, all right? Pero hindi ba, it's not enough to elicit a wow from me. I'll explain. Kasi, the duel that happened here was, well, it's an intense one. You can call it a grudge match. Right? Si Asa na pala, at saka si Tiger, matagal na pala magkakilala to. Okay? They were childhood acquaintances, but obviously, due to Luke's stupidity at that time, nagkagalit ang dalawang to. Right? Kaya pala hindi umiimik si Luke during the course of the duel. Tinatanong siya nila Gakotot ni Romin. Ano ba ang kinalaman mo sa hidwaan ng ni Asa na at saka ng ate mo? Ayaw niya magsalita. Alright? So, pero, a duel is a duel. It goes on. Eventually, Asana wins. Right? Tiger loses to Asana. So, maganda yung naging ending. Right? Final scene. The finalists have been determined. It's Team Yuga versus Team Luke. Pero, ang Team Yuga, naghihinala na. Bakit Team Luke pa rin ang kalaban nila? Sigurado may mga humabol eh. Team Luke hasn't been competing in the past 24 hours. So, more likely, may lumamang na sa kanila. So, bakit Team Luke pa rin ang kalaban nila? That's the I can tell by their faces. I can tell by the look on their faces. Si Yuga, si Neil, at si Roa. Siguro itong iniisip ng tatlong to. So, yep. Something smells fishy here. Alright? Mukhang minamani obra na ng Goha to. Right? Goha is now manipulating this one. Conspiracy! Alright? Conspiracy! Overall, it's a good episode. Okay? It's a good episode. Okay. Mainly because of the two things. The conspiracy that we are assuming here that's happening, and of course the duel. Pace-wise, of course, umpisa pa lang ng episode, duel na. Hindi ang bilis ng pace. But in the latter third of the episode, medyo nagbagal na. Kasi a winner has been determined in that duel eh. Then, sumitrack tayo to know what's going on outside. So the final match has concluded. Team Yuga wins. It was reasonably paced. Okay? It was reasonably paced. Kasi so much has been going on in this arc. If you ask me, this may be the final arc of season 1. So a lot has to be digested. Okay? A lot has to be digested. Kasi nagkaroon ng matinding duel between Asana and Tiger. That was an intense match. Okay? It's a grudge match. It is a grudge match. Okay? Kaya talagang certified intense yung duel. May pinaghuhugutan eh. May pinaghuhugutan ng dalawang to. Yung dalawang magkatunggali. Then, Of course, it slows down to let us know what's going on outside of Maximum Mountain. Ayun nga. So, the pace was reasonable. Okay? Fast because of that grudge match, then slow because of the viewers need to understand that there is a conspiracy going on. Right? Flow. Pasok tayo sa flow. First gear shift is of course the backstory behind this duel between Asuna and Tiger. So si Tiger pala ang may gusto ng duel na to kasi malaki ang atraso sa kanya ni Asuna. Malaki ang atraso sa kanya. So, yeah, that's a gear shift. Okay? If that ain't a gear shift to you guys, I don't know what is. Then final gear shift. Okay, dalawa lang yung nakita ko rito eh. Final gear shift is of course the announcement of the competing teams in the finals. Team Yuga versus Team Luke. So nagtaka ang Team Yuga. Bakit Team Luke hanggang ngayon bakit Team Luke pa rin ang makakalaban namin sa finals? Alright? You can tell by the looks on their faces eh. Na magtataka sila eh, bakit Luke, Gakuto, and Romin haven't been competing in the past 24 hours. This is the final day of competition. So, crucial. Dapat lumaban din sila. Bakit? And more likely in likelihood, merong team dyan na malalagpasan sila eh. Imposibleng wala. It's the final day of competition. Every team is on edge. Okay? Every team is out here competing except Team Luke, who is definitely busy uncovering this mystery. So, bakit Team Luke pa rin na makakalaban nila sa finals? Bakit sila pa rin? So, there's a conspiracy going on. Right? And the usual suspect is Goha. Alright? So, that's a pretty heavy gear shift right there. Plot-wise, need I say more about the plot? Malinis. In typical Yu-Gi-Oh fashion, malinis ang plot. Alright? Now, if you're a total newbie when it comes to this anime franchise, it has its own way of plotting its episodes. Well, as in any other anime, okay? Pero there's something unique to the Yu-Gi-Oh franchise, eh. Right? No plot would be considered ironed out or malinis or clean if it doesn't have a duel. Alright? Kapag walang duel ang isang Yu-Gi-Oh episode, the plot is not that clean. Kasi ang duel in any Yu-Gi-Oh episode, yun ang nagpapalinis. Yun ang nagpapalinis sa isang episode. Yun ang nagpapalinis sa plot. And the duel here, it was a grudge match. It was an intense duel. So, the more intense the duel, the more ironed out the plot of the episode will be. I should know. I've been a fan of this franchise since 2006. Okay, since the GX days. Kaya medyo gamay ko na kung paano mag-plot ng episode ang Konami. So, yeah. If the duel sucks, then the entire episode sucks. Right? So, no matter how outrageous or how serious the duel is, the duel irons out the plot of a Yu-Gi-Oh episode. Okay? So, you have to 50% of a Yu-Gi-Oh episode success depends on the duel. The duel didn't suck. Right? It was an intense duel. So, maganda yung pagkakaplot ang episode na to. And, Well, did I say that in every Yu-Gi-Oh episode there are no sleeper moments? Bihira lang. Bihira lang magkaroon ng sleeper moment ang isang Yu-Gi-Oh episode na merong duel. Bihirang bihira. Right? Bihirang bihira. So, again, it's a really good episode. Right? It's a really good episode. Maraming personal issues have been solved here, and of course, a conspiracy has finally become obvious. Right? Naging obvious to Team Hyuga. Kasi you got three smart players there. Yan. You got three of the smartest duelists in this anime in one team. Right? So, medyo gets na nila ang conspiracy na yung what you call this? Yung pagmamani obra ng Goha rito. Medyo gets na nila. Okay? So, yeah. That makes it a really good episode. So, Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's episode 48. Why not? 2 thumbs up! Alright? Bakit? I almost gave this episode, I was almost ready to give this episode the 1 thumb up lang. But, as I was explaining the pace, the flow, and the plot of this episode, I've come to think, hindi, pwedeng i-2 thumbs up ito. Pwedeng i-2 thumbs up to kasi something has been uncovered by Team Hyuga, which may play a role in the next few episodes. Not just for the next immediate episode, no, but for succeeding episodes after this. It may play a role. Kasi mukhang gets na ng Team Hyuga kung bakit Team Luke ang makakalaban nila sa finals. Mukhang minani obra na ng Goha to. Minani obra na ng Goha to. Pino mo, okay. Here's the logic behind my own assessment, okay? Team Luke hasn't been competing lately. Kasi naging busy sila sa pag-uncover, sa pag-uncover ng balak ng Goa 66. And they were looking for the main server. Right? Not knowing na ganung klaseng server lang pala makikita nila. Alright? So, you can see na nauwi sa wala ang pag-sidetrack nila from the competition. Right? So, let's say na, okay, it's obvious. Team Luke hasn't been competing at least in the past 24 hours. Within those 24 hours, ang daming pwedeng mangyari sa standings ng team battles. But high atop on those rankings is Team Hyuga. They're unbeatable. No one has beaten them. They have yet to experience a loss. Halata eh. On the way they relax after every match. Halata na wala pa nakakatalo sa kanila. Talagang that lineup is stacked, okay? 2 of them are using maximum monsters. Hyuga at si Neil. Roa is no pushover. Malakas din na duelist siya. Okay? Malakas siya duelist. And they've been competing for the past 24 hours kasi final day of competition. Baka naman may makasilat sa kanila eh. Right? So they are now making sure that they stay on top. So they still kept on competing. Pero ang Team Luke, in at least the past 24 hours, hindi sila nag-compete. Wala silang nakalaban. Alright? So bakit hanggang ngayon, second place pa rin sila? Kasi a lot can happen in 24 hours when it comes to standings. More likely, like I've said countless times in this review, more likely, meron makakasilat sa Team Luke eh. Meron makakatalo sa kanila sa second place. Okay. All that team has to do is to gather enough wins for that. Para malagpasan nila ang Team Luke, and they now have a chance to battle Team Yuga in the finals. After 24 hours, bakit hanggang ngayon Team Luke pa rin ang number 2? The likely suspect, Goha. Halata sa pagmumukha ng Team Yuga eh. Mukhang minani obra ng Goha to. Kasi they weren't expecting Team Luke already to they weren't expecting Team Luke to battle them in the finals already. Kasi they know very well. For the past 24 hours, Team Luke hasn't been competing. So, in likelihood, may makakalagpas sa kanila sa Team Luke. So, ayun nga eh. Bakit hanggang ngayon, even during the final, the announcement of the finalists, bakit Team Luke pa rin ang number 2? Bakit Team Luke pa rin? So, halatang medyo gets ko na eh. Minani obra ng Goha to. They want to drive an axe between these factions because all of them are close to Yuga. They really want to They really want to throw Yuga under the bus, and this is probably their way how to have these two teams battle each other in the finals. See the conspiracy? Kaya ako kinlassify as a gear shift yung announcement ng finalists. Okay, it's probably the heaviest gear shift so far in this anime. Alright? It may it is now a setup to end friendships. Okay? This impending match between Team Yuga and Team Luke may end friendships right here. And it's all because of Goha. Right? And it's all because of Goha. So, we better look forward to the next episode on what's going to happen. Because, it's obvious. Season 1 of 7 is about to end. And it may not end it may have an ugly ending. Alright? So again, Yu-Gi-Oh! 7's episode 48, 2 thumbs up. A prophetic 2 thumbs up, mga ka-lifestyle. So next episode has been teasered. Eto na! So, the finalists will be introduced. The way I see it, this is going to be tough to watch. Right? It may be we're up for I think we're gearing up for one of the toughest to watch episodes in Yu-Gi-Oh history. All right? So, Team Yuga versus Team Luke in the finals. So, yeah. I'm expecting this episode to be a tough to watch one. So, yan. Yun lang masasabi ko. Wow! You know, the Moriarty's notoriety, well, technically, they're gaining new enemies, right? Besides Sherlock Holmes, right? And his name is Charles Augustus Milverton. And he found out this court record na we eventually found out in the post-credit na talagang pinaiwan ni William doon para malaman lang niya kung sino ang kung sino pa makakalaban niya. So, technically, William digs up his own past as bait for future enemies. It turns out that Charles Milverton will be one of them. Final scene, post-credit. William has determined that Charles Milverton will be their most significant enemy this time. And he has given the kill order to his associates. So, inutusan na niya ang mga kasama niya na itumba na ito. Moran, Bond, Louis, even Albert, and of course their butler. They all get it. Urgent matter, urgent order ito. Kumaga priority mission. Overall, it's a fucking great episode. Another great episode from this anime. Let me explain. Alright. Pace-wise. And I thought this is going to be ano to? Ang haba naman backstory nito. Not until you get to the not until you get to the latter half of the episode. Alright? So the pace may be the pace is deceptively slow. Kung hindi kayo sanay sa mga crime or mystery animes, baka mabore kayo sa episode na to. Alright? But knowing Moriarty the Patriot, they can still deliver the goods. And they did. Okay? It was deceptively slow yung pacing. Kaya you really have to watch the entire episode to totally understand it. Alright? Flow naman. Well, first gear shift here in the backstory. Okay? I only saw one gear shift here in the backstory. Nung gigilitan na ng batang William itong kalaban niya sa korte. Yung dinimanda niya kasi for not usury. Basically the charge is usury. Usury is a serious crime during those times. Kaya if you live during those times, bawal ang mangungutang kasi pwede ka nang bitayin sa pagiging mangungutang mo. Alright? Kung mangungutang ka, this is a really good lesson for you. Okay? Gigilitan niya sana ng leeg itong si nakalimutan ko ng pangalan eh. But he demanded that this guy repays the debt with all of his wealth. He got what he wanted. At sinang-ayunan pa siya ng judge. Alright? The disturbing thing about it is sinang-ayunan pa siya ng judge. Yung tinutukan na nga niya ng kutsilyo sa leeg na ganun eh. Hindi pa rin umakangal ng judge. Alright? So, the judge is completely done with this. Right? So, talaga matatakot yung defendant. Abay, sinasang-ayunan ng judge ito. May mabuti ba, umamin na ako. So, yun. Napilitan siyang umamin. Lahat ng kasalan, lahat ng pagsisinungaling niya in court. So, eventually gave up all his wealth to William and the orphanage. Yung pala, kaya pala ganun ka-thorough ang backstory na to. It is part of Milverton's investigation of William. Ito yung talagang na-uncover niya. Ito talaga na-uncover niya. But, we all saw it in the final scene. Well, the feeling's mutual according to William. Pero, he's already given the kill order. He must be eliminated, sabi niya. So, plot-wise, well, the backstory may be long, pero to tell you honestly, it was a really satisfying backstory. Kasi, pero ba naman, William, at a young age, is the plaintiff in this court case. Right? Even the judge is impressed. Na, ganito ka bata ang plaintiff? Oh, sige. Let's see what this kid has to say. Siguro sabi ng yun ang perception ng judge. Okay. Tapos even yung pagkakatutok ni William ng kutsilyo do sa leeg ng defendant. Alright, sige, continue. That was disturbing, okay? That was fucking disturbing. For a judge to actually allow this type of violence inside his courtroom. And to be pulled off by a kid. To be pulled off by a child. Wow. Now, alright. Kaya pala ganito kalakas ang loob ni William when it comes to doing evil things. Alright? Sooner or later, someone's going to agree with him. Grabe. Pero, again, plot-wise, talagang malinis ang pagkaka-plot. Even though, well, the backstory may be boring to you, but you gotta deep dive into this anime. Alright? When it comes to the deep dive factor, nobody does it better right now than Moriarty the Patriot. Nobody does it better right now than this anime. Talagang malinis, planchado, no sleeper moments. Alright? It may be a backstory, pero minsan hindi ako gumanon sa episode na to. It was disturbing as fuck. The case was disturbing as fuck. Talagang hindi ka makakatulog. You really want to know what's going to happen. Alright? So, the pace, the flow, and the plot, they all work together to bring us another great episode by this anime. Talagang sulit ang oras. Sulit ang oras. So, Moriarty the Patriot second season episode 7. 2 thumbs up. Alright. 2 thumbs up. Grabe. You know, this is probably one of the most, probably the whole animes, well, I've seen season 1. Right? This is probably the anime's most disturbing episode so far. Alright? To see this actually happen in a modern courtroom, nope. You're not gonna see this happen. We got things called bailiffs these days. Alright? So, no violence allowed. Right? No violence allowed these days. Pero, during those times, wow. Okay? Ano ba tawag sa mga British judges? Magistrates. Okay? Magistrates. The magistrates during those times, nope. No holds barred yan. As long as you're in the right, they will allow you to do such things. Okay? This is the harsh reality of courts during those times. Okay? You can check the historical. You can check the history books. You can even Google it. You can even Google it. It's a fact. Okay? As long as you're in the right, the judge will allow you to do such things. Kumbaga, when it's going to lead to the truth, by all means, do it. Do it. Alright? Hindi pa yata uso mga bailiff nun kaya nung naglabas ng kutsilyo si William, walang pumigil sa kanya. Walang pumigil sa kanya. Hindi uso bailiff nun. Hindi pa uso bailiff or marshal during those times. Talagang wow. this episode actually gave me a history lesson. Kasi, well, I'm a bit of a history buff myself. Okay? Especially British history. So, yeah, I've encountered those pieces of Britain's history during when I was in high school. Kasi I was curious about Britain's history at the time. So, grabe. Wow. If that doesn't disturb you, I don't know what will. I've encountered disturbing things in Higurashi and in any horror anime, but this one, and to think this isn't a horror anime. This isn't a psychological anime, but it has a scene as disturbing as this. Talagang shut up na ako sa Moriarty the Patriot when it comes to delivering the goods, as to how vile the main protagonist can be. Okay, I'm no longer surprised. So again, Moriarty the Patriot, second season, episode 7. 2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up, mga ka-lifestyle. Wow, okay. Title of the next episode has been teasered. Yun lang. So, hindi. May na-teaser nga palang snippets of the next episode. Pero, nakaka-curious because of what happened in this one. Mamamotivate ka talagang panoorin yun eh. So, tutok na tayo. Tutok pa more pa tayo. Wow. First and foremost, I'd like to be clear on something with you guys. Every time na aabutan ako ng gabi sa pagkagawa ng anime reviews, kung ano yung mga reviews na talagang aabutan ako ng gabi sa paggawa, I'm going to do it in ASMR. As well, as in the case of Higehiro, it's always the second to the last. So, as a reward for watching this review for this long, I'm gonna do this in ASMR so that I can help you relax a bit after watching a very long video like this. I might as well get you through it by doing the last 2 or 3 reviews in ASMR. But Higehiro is always second to the last, so talagang tatama sa ASMR mode ko to. Alright, so let's get on with the review of this anime, or particularly this its latest episode. You know, Mishima, Yoshida's other co-worker, has finally confessed her feelings. Right? And, Yoshida, being the gentleman that he is, accepts her movie date offer. Right? But, before this one, Mishima talks to Koto, right, their boss, about about her being okay with Yoshida's status as co-housemates with Sayu. May punto naman na sinabi ni Goto rito eh. Why force someone's feelings when instead of letting it take its course, something to that effect, pero she has a point in that. Why force yourself upon someone, well, who's not in love with you? Right? Stress lang yun. Trust me, I know. I've been through that kind of a relationship. And why force Yoshida into a relationship if, well, if you have other contenders for him? Well, Mishima sees Sayo as a rival for Yoshida's feelings. Completely understandable kasi Sayo is Yoshida's housemate. Although hindi sila. Alright? Hindi sila. And well, day off nila pareho, Yoshida at si Sayo. They've gotten into this awkward situation where Sayo almost gave in. Alright, but Yoshida, nope. Right? And Yoshida's a real man, right? I commend him for this. This anime is slowly becoming a harem anime. Because, well, Sayo is holding back. Mishima has just told her of her feelings, and of course, Goto has already told Yoshida that she likes him. But I don't want to jump into conclusions this early. But anyway, we're now in the midway point of this anime, of this run. So anything can still happen. Final scene. Ito palang umaali-aligid na kotse sa convenience store na pinagtatrabahoan ni Sayo. It's actually owned by her brother. So, nakilala niya kapatid niya. Nagtago talaga siya. And she was talagang she was nervous. She was really nervous. Okay, her co-workers instantly recognized that, and talagang even the douchebag Yaguchi helped her out. Talagang tinago siya. And wow, has the time come for Sayo to leave all of this? Right? Kasi may kuya pala siyang ganito. Right? And wow, you see that calling card he gave out to Yaguchi? Kasi si Yaguchi ang sumalubong sa kanya. And Pucha, he is the CEO of their family's business. May anak mayaman pala tong si Sayo in all indications. Alright? And her older brother is actually looking for her. Siguro utos ng magulang. Alright? Overall, it's a really good episode. Alright? Let's break it down. Let's break it down the ARD way. Alright? Pace. Sa pace, well, you could say it's moderate. You could say it's moderate because, well, it has the usual slowness of a romance anime, but it picked up a little bit when Mishima told her feelings to Yoshida. Then it went back to its usual pace. Then it suddenly picked up during the most awkward moment of this episode. All right, understandable. It went slow again. Then during the final scene, it really picked up. Okay, it really picked up. So the pace was, the pace was moderate. Just right. Okay, sakto lang. When it came to the flow, first gear shift, I saw the first gear shift here when Mishima and Goto talked. Then medyo na-excite si Mishima, and she said what yung discarding ginagawa ni Goto, and all of this with the Yoshida situation. I think she snapped a bit, and Goto being the boss, put her in her place. Okay, it became tense actually at that point. Then second gear shift came when the awkward moment. Any awkward moment can be a gear shift, to tell you honestly. Right? Any awkward moment can be a gear shift. This was no exception. Okay? This was no exception. It made me laugh. It made me do this. Awkward. It really made me say the word awkward, right? That's a gear shift for me because, Yoshida may not have feelings for Sayu, but Sayu has that one. Sayu has those feelings for Yoshida, although ayaw niya talagang aminin right? Ayaw niya talagang aminin kasi Yoshida told it to her face that he's not in love with her. Alright? Well, he likes Goto. Right? He likes the boss. He likes older women. Right? Final gear shift. Of course, when Sayu's brother came out to enters the convenience store. So, of course, sinulubong siya ni Yaguchi. Of course, syempre, tinatago nila si Sayu. And they found out that this guy is her brother. So, at CEO pala ng kumpanya na pagmamay-ari ng pamilya nila. So that means anak mayaman si Sayu. We can even assume na heredera si Sayu. Alright? So this really complicates things because is it now time for Sayu to go? Right? So it will really make you think na ito pala kapatid niya, hinahanap siya. Right? Hinahuntingan talaga si Sayu. Maybe on orders of their parents, we don't know, or on his own volition or power. Right? Well, Yaguchi doesn't like him because, basically Yaguchi doesn't like men of power. Mukhang abusado raw to Speak for yourself, Yaguchi. You're still a douchebag. Okay, plot-wise, well laid out. Right? I didn't expect Sayu's brother to be this. Okay, I did not expect this. Pero from the look on Sayu's face when she first saw that car, that luxury car, mukhang nagkasuspecha na siya dun Right? Mukhang nagkasuspecha na siya noon that this belongs to her family. Right? So that was actually the opening scene. That was actually the opening scene of this episode. And, it was well laid out, the plot of this episode. I really did not expect that guy to be her brother. So, talagang umpisa, siguro hindi pa siya nagtatrabaho doon sa convenience store talagang dumadaan na ang kapatid, ang kuya niya doon para hanapin siya. Alright? So, wow. Alright, this will complicate things in the next few episodes. I tell you, okay, I am having that premonition right now because of how well named out the plot of this episode was. Looks like Sayo's happy days are about to end. Okay, unless the people around her now do something about it, especially si Yoshida. Okay, kasi they're housemates. Okay, they're housemates. So yeah, it's a really good episode. I think the animators are feeling the home stretch now of spring 2021, and they really gotta step up. Really gotta step the story up. And they probably did. So, Higehiro episode 7. Deserve. You know what? I really admire animators who over-deliver on an episode. Looks like they over-delivered on this one. Okay, looks like they over-delivered on this one. Kasi this early in this anime's run, they're now giving signs. That that the female lead is about to go home. That the complications have come this early. So they're not wasting any time at all right now. Well, this is the halfway point of its run, episode 7, because Higehiro is a 13 episode run. So episode 7 will, in a 13 episode run, episode 7 will always be the halfway point of the run. So you might as well build momentum in this one. Right, pero I think they've already built that momentum in episode 6, the one where they got the 2 thumbs up from me for the first time. Yeah. So back to back na silang 2 thumbs up sa akin. And I hope this streak continues for them. No more sleeper moments. Oh, by the way, yeah, there were no sleeper moments in this episode. That's why I gave it the 2 thumbs up. Right? Each scene was either tense or awkward. That's why, it doesn't deserve, it warranted the 2 thumbs up from me. Okay, so from now on, I'm going to expect great things from this anime, because from episode 6 and now 7, we're now in the home stretch of this anime's run. So I'm no longer expecting those sleeper moments from this anime. Yeah, I won't be expecting any sleeper moments from this anime from now on. So again, Higehiro episode 7. Next episode has been teasered. I hope you're ready, because in all indications from the teaser, you can't trust it. So I don't know about you, but I am motivated to watch that one because of this one. Looks like there will be more complications to the storyline. I am counting on that.
this episode that was actually sent to destroy him. Kaya pala, nakialam yung creator niya. Well, his maker had every right to interfere because they have a grand objective. He's already disclosed this to Fushi. Their grand objective was to preserve our world from, obviously, from being such as those yung nakalaban ni Fushi rito. It was fucking scary. Almost has the same powers and skills as him, but it had one clear advantage. It can take away whatever skills or powers Fushi has. Final scene. He's about to start a new life and he meets this boy in a frog mask. Right. One thing's for sure. It's something new for Fushi to learn. Overall, it's a really great episode. Right. I thought the action-packed sequences will stop at episode 5. Nope. I was dead wrong. I was dead fucking wrong. I never thought that he would go toe to toe, much less face to face with another alien life form who almost has the same powers and skills as him. But like I said a while ago, it has one distinct power over him: the ability to steal whatever he has. Right? Grabe. At one point, I was feeling sorry for Fushi again, especially when it stole his Onigoma form, the giant bear. Yep, he resorted to that. Now, here's where the pace comes in. The episode was properly paced. Okay, it picked up, of course, during that long battle scene where, wow, Fushi was reeling. He was trying to find a way to beat this thing. Right? So it was a prolonged battle scene, but it wasn't. The pace wasn't fast enough for you to grow tired of it. Okay. The episode was still properly paced. It kept the speed to a minimum. It confined the speed to just that battle scene. Talagang wow. It kept me on edge. Right? It was intense. Right? It was really intense. It's already 12:40 a.m. and I'm still not done with the intensity of these reviews. But anyway, I'm glad I'm in ASMR mode right now to deliver you this review. Alright, so when it comes to the flow, well, first gear shift came when all of a sudden this thing attacks Fushi while in his sleep. Siyempre natakot si Joran. Okay. So nagtago muna siya. That's all she ever. Well, that's all she could ever do. Second gear shift came when Fushi's in March form. That's when he was able to beat this thing because, well, March is March was a really fast girl because of her size. Okay, so for the first time, Fushi had that advantage and medyo exposed na yung core. So in March form, he is small enough to get inside that body and just rip it out. Just rip it out of that form. Just rip it out of that thing. Rip that core out of that thing. So yeah, second gear shift. Final gear shift came when, well, Fushi was on this boat. Of course, it's his first trip on a boat, and he sees land. So why did I call this a gear shift? Because, well, he's starting a new life with his newfound friend Joran. Of course, they met at Animé. So sumama na rin siya. Gusto na niya, well, of course, he is looking for further education, further stimulation, because that's what he was designed to do by his creator. Alright, so this is a wonderful episode. Right? Pace, flow, and plot came together for this one. It was wonderfully done. Right? It's another great episode from this anime. So, To Your Eternity, episode 6. Two thumbs up for, well, this. I think this anime has, excuse me, I think this anime has received the one thumb up from me. I think it was the pilot, but from episode 2 onwards, it's all 2 thumbs up. I'm not sure. I gotta get back to that review. Sa dami kasi ng mga nire-review kong anime, I just couldn't remember anymore. I just couldn't keep track anymore of how many 2 thumbs up I've given, even for a single anime. But I think for Your Eternity, the only episodes here that I'm sure that I've given the 2 thumbs up are from episodes 2 to this one. I'm really not sure of whether it was 1 thumb up or 2 thumbs up for its pilot. But if you've seen that episode, let me know in the comments. Okay? Saan nyo? Re-replyan ko yan. Okay. So, it's another great episode from this anime. And, if you're into either the supernatural or drama animes, as early as now, I would strongly recommend you this one. Okay, it's a really good story, and how they presented it, it's really good as well. Okay, and finally, Fushi can now both talk fluently and write, thanks to Joran. I never thought Joran would be this good a teacher. So hats off to her. Hats off to the old lady for giving the main protagonist the tools he needs to help them along this road of discovery. Because yeah, he will really need the ability to talk fluently and write, because, well, on this planet, communication is key. So yeah, he will need those tools, he will need those skills along the way. So again, To Your Eternity, episode 6. episode has been teasered, and well, looks like he's found a new friend in the boy in the frog mask, right? So, well, let's watch that episode, shall we? Okay. I'm really motivated now to watch that one because this was a really great episode.